Thank you for coming in and playing Deranged Order of Eight. I was going to give you a quick tour just so that you can come up to speed quickly. So one of the things that makes Derange Order of Eight a little different, well, let's start with the normal stuff. So typically you will match the face of the card, which is the ace, to something in your hand, or you'll match the heart. Well, in our case, the Jack of Hearts would be a great match. So we would be able to play the Jack of Hearts. We don't really have an ace, so we play the Jack of Hearts. And that's your normal, everyday way of playing. The other players will play right now. If we get to a point that I don't have something I can play, then I would play an 8, and that would allow me to change to any suit that I have in my hand. I luckily have 2 8s, so I could do this more than once. But for right now, the 8 is the common change of card. So say, for instance, I don't want spades, because I don't have a lot of spades. I have 1 spade, or 2 spades, and I wanted to change to diamonds. I could play my 8, and I would then get to choose which card to play. And so I'm going to say I want diamonds. So I'm going to press on my diamonds, and I choose diamonds. And from then on out, everybody has to play the 8s of diamonds. The other cards that are interesting to play are your 2s. So if you play 2, you get this little sign in the corner next to the draw pile that says must play 2 or draw 2. And you cannot do anything else. So you either have to play a 2. Luckily, we have a 2, so I'm excited. Or you have to hit the draw pile and draw 2 cards. You don't get to play even. You cannot play an 8. It won't let you play an 8. You literally have to, when a 2 is played, you either must draw 2 or play 2. So since we have a 2, we're going to play 2. Now what you'll see is the next person has to play 2 or draw 4. Once the draw is taken, then you play a 2 the normal way. You match the 2 or you match the suit. So now it's our turn again. And so we can play the 8 and change it to any suit we want, or we can match the 4 to the 4 of diamonds. And so we're just going to do our normal play of matching the 4 to the 4 of diamonds. And then the other players will play. And then king is an interesting play, because what you'll notice when they just played that king is it changes direction. So if a rotation is clockwise, a king will cause it then to go counterclockwise. If it's counterclockwise, they'll cause it to go clockwise. So you can get a lot of cards coming in and out of your hand because you've changed the direction of the play. Then the last cards, or last 2 cards that we need to talk about, is this thing called 3s and 10s. I don't have an ability, well, right now I don't have any hearts, so I can't do anything with it. I'll talk about 3s and 10s in a minute. So I'm going to use my 8, and since I want to change to this 3 of clubs, I'm going to change things to a club. And we'll see if we get back around, and it lets us play, oh shoot. But it came back to a club, lucky yes. So I'm going to play 3s and 10s. The only thing with 3s and 10s that you have to be careful of, I can play a 3, and then I can play all my 3s and 10s out of my hand. They don't have to match, they just have to be 3s and 10s. The first one has to match suit, so this one matched the clubs. The last card you play is called a follow me card. So see, it's still my turn even though I played a card. That's because I don't have a club to end with. So 3s and 10s and follow me are an interesting combination. So I'll pick a card. I still didn't wind up with a club, so I'm going to end my turn. That means the next person can play any 3 or 10 they have, or they can end the turn with a suit of the same type. Okay, so we're looking at an ace of clubs. We can't play, but we got an 8. So what should we do with that 8? So I'm going to play the 8. Now I've got to decide, do I want the queen, which is worth 10 points, or do I want diamonds, because it's 2 cards, that is worth 11 points? It's really up to you. I'm probably going to go with the diamond and change the suit. Oh, because it doesn't last long sometimes, those 8s. So still can't play, so I'm going to pick up a card. I still can't play, so I have to end my turn with the end turn button. But I have a king, so kings are worth a lot of points, so I want to get rid of my king. But to get rid of a king, I need to have a diamond, but I don't have a diamond. I only have a heart, so I can't play that. But I do have a 6, so I can change it to a diamond with my 6, just because it's a 6 there first. And then we're going to play around. Oh, look. Now I have a king. So when I play my king, remember what's going to happen. You can watch this little arrows here. It's going to switch direction the other way, and play is going to go the other direction. So now we're back to clockwise. And so they threw a 2, must draw 2. Oh no, they threw a 2. I must draw 2 because I do not have a 2 in my hand. So I'm going to have to hit the draw pile, and then I get nothing else. I get to see my 2 draw cards, and it moves on to the next player. So, just part of the game. And we'll keep playing a little bit. End turn, can't play. So that's basics of playing with the cards. Now, as you saw, they threw a king. It came back to me, my turn. You'll notice it's whose turn it is by your little avatar down in the bottom with the arrow that's swinging around it. So if you're wondering whose turn's playing, it's the person that has the avatar swinging around with the arrows. Okay. Now we're going to go back. The king caused a direction change. And now we're going to play the queen, because the queen's the only spade I have in my hand. So that's a basics of the card playing. We're going to go back out. We're going to go into settings. And what I would like to talk about with settings is kind of some of the ways that as a beginner, I would suggest setting up your cards and setting up your stuff. I would probably turn the music off because that's an extra distraction as you're learning you might not need. But you can turn it on later if you like. I'd also show the cheat sheet. That's the little piece of information that was showing how much points all the cards are worth. And then Play Assistant is the information down in the corner, the lower right-hand corner, that will tell you, help you with suggestions on what you could play. Quad deck is most of the time you will play with a double deck, just 2 decks of cards. So that therefore there's 8 2s, there's 8 3s, stuff like that. But if you're trying to spice it up and get a little bit more challenge or a lot more 2s in the game, quad deck adds for an interesting variety. I'm going to go ahead and keep it at double deck. Then the other thing you do is you can play the computer, but if you're learning, I would highly suggest playing yourself and just do the practice. This lets us play all 4 hands as if there are hands. And then you can choose the speed. This is for how fast the computer plays. When you're first learning, I'd go ahead and turn it down into a leisurely play. But as you get used to what you're doing, you can turn it into a quick play and determine what to do. All rounds typically go 8 cards. Then the next round is 7 cards, 6 cards, down to 1. And then all the way back up to 8. Sometimes if you're just looking for a fun game to play and you just are trying to get used to things, or you just want a quick and easy, you can turn on the four, and it starts at 4 cards, then 3 cards, then 2 cards, then 1, and back up. And also you can play with 2 players or 4 players. It's up to you of how you want to play. I don't have playing friends yet, but that is something I'm planning on bringing back soon. Okay, so let's get started. Let's play a round of self-play. And so I was the dealer. The south player was the dealer. So the very first player that gets to go is the person to the west. Now, if I have a club, 7 of club, I'm looking at all my cards. I have a 7 of diamonds, or I have a 4 of clubs. I really don't have a lot of choices here. So looking at my points, 7's worth a little bit more than 4, so I'm going to go ahead and play my 7 of diamonds. Plus I have more diamonds in my hands. Okay, this is interesting. So now on the north player has some 3s, and those 3s are worth a lot of points, and I want to get them out of my hand. I have only 2, so I'm going to play my 3 of diamond, and then I get to play my 3 of hearts. And now I have to finish. Remember, I have to finish with a follow me card. And a follow me card means it's either a heart, which I could play my king of hearts, or I could have put my 8 of 8, my wild card down. But I'm going to choose my king. And the king is going to, remember, change direction. So we're going to go back to the west player. And the west player is going to play the 6 of hearts. And now I'm back to me, the south player. I've got a few choices. I could play my 8, but I don't really want to waste it since I do have so many hearts here in my hand. My ace is worth 15 points, so I'm probably going to, and everything else is kind of their face value, queen being 10 points. I'm going to go ahead and play my ace up above. So now we're on the east, and the east says, ooh, there's a 10 I'd like to get rid of, but that 10 is not of the right suit, so I can't do anything about it. I could use my 8 and try to get it to the right suit for the next time I play, but right now I think I'm going to go with ace of diamonds. So I'm back to my 8, my diamonds. I do have an 8. I'm going to wait on my 8, and then I'm going to play my queen right now. Over here on the other side, I'm going to, since I only have, I have 1 diamond, and it's a 5, but I have all these spades I really want to get rid of, especially that 2. I'm going to play my queen to play that through. I have hearts and queens and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my ace, though. My ace is a little higher points, and I've got an 8 when I need to change suits. So I'm back to, I'm going to get rid of my, oh, I almost made a mistake. I sit there and I'm going, okay, I'm going to get rid of my ace, but my 10 is worth far more points, and I want to get rid of my 10s and 3s whenever I can. So I'm going to play my 10. And then I'm going to have to follow it up with the same suit of that 10. Since I have no other 3s or 10s, I'm going to have to follow it up with a spade. Or I could put the 8, but I'm going to follow it up with the 7 of spades. Okay, so I've got my 6 of spades and my 8. I don't really need to use my 8 right yet, so I'm going to go ahead and use my 6 of spades. And then the only spade I have a queen of spades, but this 2 is worth a lot more points, so I'm going to play my 2. But remember, once I play my 2, the next player must play 2 or must draw 2. And they can't draw 2, they can't play 2, so they have to draw the 2 cards. And then over here, I'm going to play my 4. And this one I can play a 4. And this one I can play a 4, but my jack is higher, so I'm going to play my jack. And this one I have a whole lot of cards. And I have an 8 and a 10. I think it's time for me to play my 8 and try to get me my club, the cards to a club if I can. Okay, so I have an ace club, so I'll play that. I don't have a club, so I'm going to play my 8, and I'm going to say diamonds. This 8 is going to say diamonds. I have a diamond. I don't have anything else, so I'm going to play my 1 diamond. Ah, shoot, I wanted that club, and I don't have any diamonds. And I don't have any 8s. So the only thing I can do is draw a card. Unfortunately, I didn't draw a diamond, so I have to end my turn. I've got a diamond, and I've got an 8, and somebody's got a 1 card over there. I'm going to play this 8 because it's worth 50 points. And I don't want to get stuck with 50 points in my hand. So I'm going to say club is my next card. They've got a diamond, and they can't play, so we're going to draw a card. Still can't play, must end turn. There's 1 diamond, so we're going to do that. Look, I got really lucky. My king, my club is up, so I can get rid of my 10. I don't have any other 3s or 10s. So now I'm going to go ahead and play my jack or my queen and finish up with the follow me card. If you don't have a follow me card, you have to draw it. This means that you'll never be able to go out of the game because the whole object is to get rid of all your cards. With a 3 or a 10, you must end with a follow me card. Okay, and don't have a club or a diamond. I have to end my turn. I don't have a spade, so I have to pick up a card, but I do have a 9. I can play it. Okay, I have a 9 here as well, so I can play it. Oh, a diamond can't play. Hearts, no hearts. Oh, no hearts still. Okay, I do have hearts here, though. So I'm going to play my heart. Oh, nothing up there, so we're going to draw a card. Okay, nothing. Oh, but it is an 8. So don't be confused by the fact the suits don't match with your 8s. You can play your 8s when you can, so take advantage of it. It looks like I want to beat diamonds, so I'm going to choose diamonds. And then I'm going to choose another diamond. And then I'm going to choose my, oh, luckily me, I drew a diamond. I have a diamond. So I have a king and I have a 2. 2s are worth more points than kings, so I'm going to play the 2. And remember, the 2 is going to cause them to draw 2 or pick up 2. I also like it when my opponents have to pick up 2. They will have to pick up 2 even at the end of the game. So if you go out with a 2, they still have to pick up the 2 at the end. So I'm going to pick up my cards. The diamonds, no diamonds. Ooh, I've got a 2 I can play. So they must play 2. Even though they can play that diamond, they're stuck playing 2 or pick up 2. And nothing over here. Oh, I got a diamond. And look, I got a diamond in my 3s and 10s. So I could play the first 10. Now I could play the 10 of spades and then end with the, I could play the 10 of spades, but then I would have to play the 3 of clubs. And then 3 clubs can, luckily I've got follow me cards in both. Since the ace is a higher follow me card than the queen, I'm going to play this one first, the spade, the 10 of spade, and then the 3 of clubs because I want to end with the suit that I'm going to have the highest play on. That was a good example of how you would strategize to play that kind of combination. And then nothing over here. And nothing up there. And nothing over there. And this is how the game can look like it's going to be over any second now. And then it turns around and it's not. So we're going to pick our heart. You can even pick the card the same as the 8 is. If you throw an 8 of clubs and you want it to be clubs, you can still pick clubs. There's no problem with that. Okay, I'm definitely picking spades over for this guy. Okay, so my 5 of spades, my queen of spades, my nothing down here, my king of spades. I still have nothing down here. Oh, nothing over there. I have a lot of kings, so I think I'm going to take on my kings. And I'm going to go ahead and do it in the diamonds. And I've got the diamond. Nothing down here. Oh, I have a 7. See? Even I make mistakes. I'm going to play my 7 of clubs because I was too fast on picking a card before I should have played a card. And we're going to go around. We're going to play my king. Ooh, I think I'll play a king again. Play the heart, the 5 of hearts. And now I'm going to play my 2 for sure because it's worth a lot of points and I don't want those points in my hand, so I want to get rid of them. So they have to pick up 2 or play a 2. They don't have anything to play. They don't have anything to play. 7 of hearts. Oops. I hit the button before I was paying attention, but luckily I can play my 10 of hearts first, then I can play my queen of hearts, and I was able to get rid of that card I picked up by accident. See, and if you start going too fast or you're not paying attention, it's real easy to make a few mistakes, and that's just kind of life. And then we're going to go, nope, nothing there. Nothing there. Uh-oh, we're back to picking up cards. Okay, so here's an example of where I play my 10, but I have no follow me cards. I'm going to draw a card. I still don't have a follow me card, and I'm going to have to end my turn. Okay, I'm going to pick up my 4. I wish I could get rid of that 3 in my hand. I'm going to have a 4. I'm going to have an ace. I've got another ace. Okay, see, you would think I ended my turn, but I didn't end my turn because you can never go out on a 3 or a 10. You have to pick up a card and end with it. And look at this. We're going to get lucky because we can end on an 8. And so that means we're out and we won, up north person won. And that's the end of the round. From here, you can just go ahead and play the next round, and you'll see that you'll get 7 cards, or you can go over and see what the current score tally is. And then as we deal the next round, you will see that we get 7 cards instead of 8, and it will work its way down. And down here, you have the play assistance. It'll tell you what to do. Must draw 2 or play 2, and it says play a 2. I've got a few 2s too, so I'm going to go ahead and play my 2, and on we go. There's another 2. And this is how it starts getting big with the 2. Must play 2, must play 6. Uh-oh, there's another 2. Must play 8 And so this person is going to have to pick up 8 cards. So, and you have no choice. Down here in your assistant, it tells you you're going to have to draw those cards, and 8 cards is their damage. I have a 2. We're going to go ahead and leave the game, and that's how you can play. One of the things to note, though, if we left the game right now and we decide, no, wait, we want to come back in and continue the last game, it will be a new set of cards, but it'll be the round. So there's 7 cards here, but everybody was dealt new cards. Just so you're aware of what happens with that. Well, thank you for coming and trying to learn the game. Start playing. Let me know how you like it. Talk to you later. Bye.